Hey guys, it's Cheer and welcome to What I Wish I Knew Before Hiking the CDT. So today we're going to be talking about bear spray and what I wish I knew about bear spray before hiking the CDT. I didn't really get on the trail knowing much about bear spray, just that I knew I needed it. Kind of in the northern part. I did a northbound hike on the Continental Divide Trail, so I kind of knew loosely where I needed bear spray, but I'm going to tell you exactly where CDT hikers start using bear spray. This isn't all-encompassing advice, so I encourage you, if you're going to be hiking the Continental Divide Trail or going to be in Grizzly country, definitely do your own research, but this is just kind of a general overview of what I experienced on trail. So what is bear spray? Bear spray is kind of a safety precaution for CDT hikers and people in Grizzly country. In case you get charged or bluff charged by a grizzly bear or a black bear.
Looks like we got some bear tracks. Or Bigfoot.
If you do have to use your bear spray, it comes out very quickly, I believe 70 miles per hour. So you generally are supposed to wait until the bear is within 30 feet of you to actually use it. And it's good generally for a one-time use. So keep that in mind. For safety purposes, it's good to be in grizzly country with a group if you possibly can. On the CDT, especially in Glacier, where I feel like most people see grizzly bears on the CDT. I only actually saw one grizzly for sure. There was another possible grizzly bear near Yellowstone, but just kind of throughout that whole area, people see grizzlies. Not as common, at least that I heard of, as I thought. A lot of hikers, especially the fast ones, kind of said they didn't see any grizzlies at all. So a little bit more rare than I thought, but I actually did see grizzly for sure in Glacier. So it's good to go in a group. I was in a group, and in Glacier, if you're hiking the CDT, you do need permits to go through, and getting a permit is a little bit tough because there's some more competition. There's, weekend backpackers and that sort of thing. So it's good if you're a CDT hiker to kind of get together with other CDT hikers and get on the same permit. So there's 4 people who can be on a permit. So I was with my trail family of 2 other people, and so I felt pretty safe going through grizzly country. But if you are alone, just be aware that your bear spray is usually good for one use. So story time, was hiking, kind of entering the area where grizzlies are more prevalent, and came across this young woman who was hiking alone. She was very familiar with the area from Montana, and she was pretty shaken up. So I heard her from very far away going, hey bear," as she was hiking, and came upon her, and she told us that she had to use her bear spray the previous day. And she was pretty shaken up about it. She got bluff charged by a huge grizzly, which I don't think is necessarily like super common, but she had to use her bear spray. She knew how to use it. So it's good to kind of figure out how to use the bear spray. So she used it, and she thinks the grizzly bluff charged her. But she used it anyway because you're not totally sure. But she had no more bear spray left because she was alone. So that's just something to think about before you venture into grizzly country, is possibly for safety reasons band together with people, because if she got bluff charged again, she had nothing. So yeah, something to keep in mind. Hiking a northbound hike like I did, the unofficial area to start carrying your bear spray is Lander, Wyoming. So that's when I started carrying my bear spray, starting from Lander, and I totally scored. And most likely, I think a lot of hikers can score free bear spray. So when I was hiking in the basin toward Lander, we came across a couple bike packers who basically just like stopped and talked to us and gave us their bear spray because they were going on a southbound ride, bike packing. So they didn't need their bear spray anymore. So it could happen to you as well if you're hiking the CDT. You might pass by some bike packers or that sort of thing who just want to get rid of the weight and give it to somebody who needs it, going the opposite way. In the hotel that I stayed in Lander, and I wrote it down, what's it called? It's been a little while. Holiday Lodge in Lander. It's a very hiker-friendly hotel. They had bear spray in the back. And when I checked in, I think it was the owner, said, "Hey, do you need any bear spray? Because we have a ton of it. Hikers who come through here southbound don't need it anymore. So they just leave it all here for other hikers to use the next year or whatever." So I could have gotten free bear spray there as well. So that's just a little tip to get free bear spray. It's about $60 a pop, I think, depending on where you get it from. So it was nice to save that money and just have it for free.
Good morning. I'm going to get my first bear hang of this part of the trail. It's kind of subpar, but I'm going to show it to you. We're kind of in practice mode right now. I have my bear spray with me, so I have to get used to all of these new practices.
And if you're hiking southbound, there is a kind of hiker hub or hostel called Luna's or Looking Glass Hostel. And I left my bear spray there because I didn't need it after I finished the trail. So what happens if you're going northbound or southbound really is Luna's, you can stay there twice, because that's a good point before you hit the border and then after you hit the border if you're going on a northbound hike, or vice versa if you're going southbound. So I left my bear spray at Luna's. If anybody's hiking in 2023 southbound, you're welcome. Hopefully it's still there. So yeah, you could also score free bear spray going southbound if you hit up Luna's before you start the trail.
What else do we have? Oh, well, bear spray. I left it over there where I went pee. I should probably go get it. I just need to be in the habit of carrying my bear spray everywhere I go, just in case I come upon a grizzly bear. We got really lucky with these. We had a couple bikers pass by us in the basin, and they gave us their bear spray because they didn't need it anymore. They were going southbound. And yeah, so we scored there. And also we got 2 bear sprays then. And then I got mine at the hotel we stayed in. It was called, Holiday Lodge. And so they had a bunch of bear sprays that they just had hikers drop off. So scored there because I think these normally go from like $40 to $60 each. So that was awesome.
The more official area where it's officially grizzly country is in between the stretch, if you're hiking northbound, between Pinedale and Du Bois. Gunsight Pass. So this is a pass in between those 2 towns. So that's more of the official area to start carrying your bear spray. So you could technically wait until then to carry it, but I just kind of cautionary measures, and I got the free bear spray anyway. So once I got the free bear spray, I just started in Lander, but you could technically wait a little longer if you don't want to carry the weight.
Here's our tent site for the evening. It's my tent, Snickers, and Stevie Wonder's tent. Apparently we passed the start of Grizzly country after Gun Sight Pass, which was yesterday. So we're being extra careful, and I think I finally have the hanging the food thing down a lot better. So thumbs up.
Bear spray has been apparently proven to be extremely effective against bears, and it also doesn't generally harm the bear. So it's a win-win. And thought I'd go over some other bear safety, just kind of overview precautions as well. So it's good to know how to do a proper bear hang, which I think I might have another video to go into detail about all of this, but proper bear hang. Eat away from where you're going to camp. So when we got into Grizzly country, what we would do is we would have dinner about an hour or a little bit more before we would set up camp. So we just stop everything, have dinner, pack back up, and then hike, you know, an hour or whatever more before we set up our camp.
Prepping to jump in my tent to get rid of these mosquitoes, but we're in Yellowstone by Shoshone Lake, and bam, there's my bear hang. Getting better. This one makes it easy though, because these are provided at the campsites.
And speaking of bear safety, I also wore a bear bell on my pack. So that kind of made me feel a little bit safer because I was making noise, and you're supposed to kind of talk or sing or make noise when you're hiking grizzly country because there's a lot of brush where a potential bear who could be around the corner wouldn't see you, and then you could scare it. And that's kind of a dangerous situation, especially if it's close up. So I carried a bear bell. However, it did make me feel better. But my trail family member Snickers was talking to a ranger in Glacier, and he asked, hey, what's the deal with these? Is it good? Is it not? Is it effective? Is it not? And the ranger basically said, it's been tested and kind of proven that it's actually not effective. It's better to just talk or sing or make noise while you're hiking. So take that as you want. If it makes you feel better to use a bear bell, do it. Do whatever makes you feel comfortable. Obviously, it made me feel more comfortable. I don't know how effective it actually was, but yeah, it was just, that was an interesting fact that I learned while I was hiking, and to hear a ranger say that was very interesting.
All right, here's a little black bear. Just chomping on the berries while I'm on my way to the prairie.
So that's it for bear spray. I think in my next video or two, I'm still going to talk about bears because I did learn the difference between grizzly bear tracks, black bear tracks. The scat was interesting, so I got some video footage of that while I was on trail. And then I think I'm going to go more into kind of specifics about the safety aspect of bears. I did meet a grizzly bear expert actually on trail. He was hiking a section around the CDT, and it was so interesting to talk to him. He got his master's degree in, I think it was grizzly bear behavior or bear behavior. So anyway, it was really great to talk to him. So I want to relay some of that to you as far as bear safety, because in my experience hiking on these trails, like I've seen mountain lions, I've seen bears, I've seen snakes. These animals don't want to have anything to do with you most of the time. So there's really, as long as you're prepared, I don't feel like there's really any reason to be afraid. Just be prepared and respect the animal. And so he really drove that point home to me and to my trail family members. So it was great to talk to him. And yeah, in my upcoming videos, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. So stay tuned.